The reckoning. The morning sky over New Geneva glowed with an unnatural purple hue, a permanent reminder of the plasma bombardment that had scarred Earth's atmosphere 3 years ago. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of the Global Defense Command, watching construction crews rebuild the city below. Where alien weapons had carved deep gouges into the Earth, human resilience had planted the seeds of renewal. "Admiral, the technical team is ready for you in Lab 7. Lieutenant Marcus Webb announced, his reflection appearing beside hers in the reinforced glass. Chen nodded, her fingers unconsciously tracing the scar that ran from her temple to her jaw. The Dominion invasion had left its marks on everyone, but humanity had survived. More than survived. They had evolved. The walk to Lab 7 took Chen through corridors bustling with personnel from every nation on Earth. Russians worked alongside Americans, Chinese scientists collaborated with European researchers, and African engineers shared innovations with their Asian counterparts. The Unity Protocol, born from the ashes of the invasion, had accomplished what centuries of diplomacy could not: true global cooperation. Dr. Yuki Tanaka greeted Chen at the laboratory entrance, her eyes bright with excitement behind protective goggles. "Admiral, you need to see this. We've made a breakthrough with the captured Dominion technology." Inside the lab, a strange crystalline structure floated in a containment field, pulsing with ethereal blue light. Chen recognized it immediately: a Dominion power core, the heart of their devastating weapon systems. "We finally cracked their quantum resonance patterns," Tanaka explained, manipulating holographic displays with practiced gestures. "Their technology operates on principles we've only theorized about. By reversing their field equations, we've developed something extraordinary." The scientist activated another display, showing a shimmering energy barrier surrounding a test object. "Quantum shielding, Admiral. It doesn't just deflect energy. It phases incoming attacks into a parallel dimension. Nothing gets through." Chen's mind raced with the implications. During the invasion, Dominion weapons had cut through Earth's defenses like paper. Now humanity possessed a counter that could change everything. "How soon can we implement this on a planetary scale?" Chen asked. "With our current resources, 6 months, Tanaka replied. "But Admiral, that's not all we've discovered." A new hologram materialized, displaying energy patterns that made Chen's skin crawl with their alien geometry. "The Dominion technology contains communication protocols. We've been monitoring subspace frequencies, and we've detected something disturbing." The display shifted to show deep space telemetry. Countless energy signatures moved through the void, converging on a single destination. "They're coming back," Chen stated, her voice steady despite the chill running down her spine. "Not just the Dominion," Tanaka corrected. "This appears to be a coalition. Multiple alien species united under something called the galactic hegemony. The signals we've intercepted suggest they view humanity's survival as an affront to their authority." Chen studied the data, her tactical mind already formulating strategies. The first invasion had caught Earth unprepared, but humanity had learned from that mistake. They had reverse-engineered alien technology, unified their planet's resources, and discovered capabilities their enemies never anticipated. "Begin immediate implementation of the quantum shields," Chen ordered, "and accelerate all weapons development programs. If they want a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget." Over the following months, Earth transformed into a fortress world. Orbital defense platforms bristling with quantum cannons formed a protective shell around the planet. Deep underground, in bunkers that could withstand continental devastation, scientists worked on humanity's ultimate deterrent. The project, codenamed Prometheus Unbound, represented the pinnacle of human ingenuity and desperation. By combining captured alien technology with Earth's understanding of quantum mechanics, they had created something that shouldn't exist: a weapon that could unravel the fundamental forces holding matter together. Dr. James Okafor, the project's lead physicist, often worked through the night, driven by visions of what failure would mean. His family had died in the first wave of the invasion, vaporized when Lagos fell to orbital bombardment. Now, As he calibrated the weapon's targeting systems, he carried their memory as both burden and motivation. The quantum resonance is stable. At 98%, his assistant reported, monitoring readouts that would have been incomprehensible before the invasion. Okafor nodded, making minute adjustments to the field harmonics. The weapon worked by creating a cascade reaction in subatomic particles, essentially convincing matter that it wanted to cease existing. In testing, they had erased small asteroids from reality itself, leaving nothing behind, not even quantum foam. The ethical implications haunted him, but the approaching armada left no room for moral hesitation. Humanity faced extinction, and Okafor would use every tool at his disposal to prevent it. As Earth's defenses came online, strange things began happening across the planet. The quantum shields created localized distortions in spacetime, causing aurora displays in tropical regions and gravitational anomalies that made objects briefly weightless. Some people reported seeing glimpses of parallel realities, shadows of worlds where the invasion had succeeded, where humanity existed only as slaves or memories. These phenomena convinced Chen that they were on the right path. The aliens had made a crucial error in their first invasion. They had shown humanity that the universe operated on principles far beyond conventional physics. In trying to conquer Earth, they had inadvertently elevated human understanding to cosmic levels. The day the proximity alarms activated, Chen stood in the Global Defense Command's war room, surrounded by holographic displays showing defensive positions across the solar system. Mars base reported ready, its railgun batteries charged and targeting solutions calculated. The asteroid mining stations had been converted into weapons platforms, their industrial mass drivers repurposed for war. Hegemony fleet dropping out. Of hyperspace in 3, 2, 1. Space itself seemed to scream as thousands of vessels materialized beyond Neptune's orbit. The Armada dwarfed anything from the first invasion. Sleek Dominion destroyers flew alongside crystalline Vorthan dreadnoughts, while organic Keltani bioships pulsed with malevolent life. My God, someone whispered. There must be 50,000 ships. Chen's expression remained carved from stone. Then we'll need more ammunition. All stations prepare for combat, and ready the Prometheus device. As humanity braced for what might be its final battle, Chen thought about the journey that had brought them here. 3 years ago, Earth had been a divided world, its nations squabbling while the cosmos revealed its threats. Now they stood united, armed with technology that defied their previous understanding of reality, ready to show the galaxy that attacking Earth had been the worst mistake in its history. The hegemony fleet began its advance, confident in their overwhelming numbers. They couldn't know that beneath Earth's surface, in a chamber shielded by kilometers of rock and quantum barriers, Dr. Okafor was entering the final activation codes for a weapon that could erase entire star systems. Humanity had been pushed to the brink once. They would not allow it to happen again. The warning, the first wave of hegemony ships entered the outer solar system with the arrogance of conquerors expecting easy victory. Their commanders had studied the reports from the failed Dominion invasion, dismissing humanity's survival as luck rather than capability. They would learn the price of such assumptions. Admiral Chen watched from the command center as the enemy fleet divided into assault formations. The hegemony operated on tested military doctrine, overwhelming force applied to critical points. Against most species, it worked flawlessly, but humanity had spent 3 years preparing for exactly this scenario. Admiral, picking up broadcast signals from the hegemony flagship, Communications Officer Riley reported. They're demanding our immediate surrender. Put it through, Chen ordered, curious to hear their enemy's voice. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a being that seemed composed of living crystal. Its voice resonated through the command center like breaking glass. Inhabitants of Earth, I am Supreme Orchestrator Vex-High of the Galactic Hegemony. Your defiance of the natural order ends today. Surrender now, and some of your species may survive as servants, resist and face complete annihilation. Chen stepped forward, her scarred face illuminated by the display. Supreme Orchestrator, I am Admiral Sarah Chen of United Earth Command. I'll make you a counteroffer. Turn your fleet around and leave human space forever. This is your only warning. The crystalline being's form shifted colors. What Chen had learned was Vorthon laughter. You dare threaten the combined might of 17 stellar civilizations? Your species barely survived a single Dominion expeditionary force. We bring the full power of the hegemony. Your extinction is mathematical certainty. Mathematics can be surprising, Chen replied calmly. Proceed at your own peril. The transmission cut off as Vexhi's patience expired. Across the solar system, Earth's defenders watched the massive fleet surge forward, confident in their superiority. They had no idea they were flying into a trap 3 years in the making. Execute Phase 1, Chen commanded. Hidden throughout the asteroid belt, camouflaged installations came to life. These were not ordinary weapons platforms, but quantum field generators, each one painstakingly constructed using reverse-engineered alien technology. As they activated, space itself began to warp. The lead elements of the hegemony fleet suddenly found their sensors scrambled, their navigation systems reporting impossible readings. Ships that should have been millions of kilometers apart appeared to occupy the same space. Weapons fired at phantom targets while real threats remained invisible. Quantum maze is active, reported Captain Reeves from the Neptune monitoring station. Enemy fleet is experiencing severe spatial displacement. The hegemony's response was swift and brutal. Vexhi ordered his ships to fire saturation bombardments at the asteroid belt, hoping to destroy whatever was causing the interference. Thousands of energy beams and missiles streaked through space, turning asteroids into expanding clouds of debris. But the quantum generators had been built to withstand such attacks, protected by the same phasing technology that would soon shield Earth itself. They continued their reality-warping operations. More importantly, they had served their purpose, dividing and confusing the enemy fleet. Phase 2, Chen ordered. From hidden bases on Mars and Earth's moon, humanity's new fleet emerged. These weren't the retrofitted vessels from the first invasion, but purpose-built warships incorporating alien technology with human innovation. The EUS Prometheus, Earth's first quantum dreadnought, led the assault. Captain Maria Vasquez commanded the Prometheus from its quantum-shielded bridge. As hegemony weapons fire splashed harmlessly against their shields, she felt a grim satisfaction. All batteries, target the Kelthani bioships. Quantum torpedoes authorized. The organic vessels had been the terror of countless worlds, their living hulls adapting to conventional weapons. But humanity's quantum torpedoes operated on principles no organic system could counter. Where they struck, reality simply ceased acknowledging the existence of matter. Bioships the size of cities vanished in silent flashes, leaving only quantum echoes. Across the solar system, similar scenes played out. Humanity's forces struck with surgical precision, their quantum weapons bypassing hegemony shields as if they didn't exist. The alien commanders, accustomed to overwhelming firepower solving all problems, found themselves facing an enemy that had made their entire military doctrine obsolete. But the hegemony's numbers were still overwhelming. For every ship humanity destroyed, 10 more pressed forward. The battle raged from the outer planets to Mars' orbit, painting space with exotic energies and the debris of dying vessels. It was then that Vexhi made his critical error. Frustrated by the unexpected resistance, he ordered his personal dreadnought and its escort fleet to bypass the outer defenses and strike directly at Earth. The massive ships engaged their hyperdrives, disappearing from the main battle. They reappeared, in Earth orbit, weapons charging for a bombardment that would crack continents. Vexhi stood on his command deck, crystal form pulsing with anticipation of victory. Fire, he commanded. Nothing happened. Around his fleet, space itself had become a prison. Earth's planetary quantum shield had evolved far beyond simple defense. It created a localized reality where energy weapons simply forgot how to function, where hyperdrives lost their connection to higher dimensions. Admiral Chen, Vexhi's image appeared on Earth's displays, his crystalline form now showing fractures of fear. "What have you done?" Chen's response was to activate a global broadcast, her words reaching every ship in the system, every world monitoring the battle. Attention, all hegemony forces and any other species listening. You came to our world uninvited. You threatened our existence. Now you will witness why that was the greatest mistake in galactic history. Deep beneath the Himalayas, Dr. Okafor received the authorization he had dreaded and anticipated. With hands steady despite the magnitude of his actions, he initiated the Prometheus Unbound protocol. In space, a small satellite that had gone unnoticed among the battle's chaos began to transform. Panels unfolded like origami, revealing a device that seemed to bend light around itself. This was humanity's ultimate deterrent, a quantum cascade weapon capable of unraveling stars. Target locked on the hegemony core world of Vexmanai, Okafor reported. Weapon charged and ready, Chen's voice carried across the cosmos. I will now demonstrate the price of threatening Earth. Supreme Orchestrator, your homeworld of Vexmanai is 12,000 light-years away. Watch what happens to its moon. The satellite fired, not a beam or projectile, but something that existed outside conventional physics. Across impossible distances, ignoring the light-speed barrier through quantum entanglement, the effect reached Vexmanai's moon instantaneously. Every ship's sensor in the hegemony fleet registered the impossible. A celestial body simply ceasing to exist, not exploding, not crumbling, but being erased from reality as if it had never been. Vex-High's crystalline form developed a complex network of stress fractures. Impossible, the energy required, the physics. Now imagine that beam targeted at your homeworld, Chen continued, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's collective will. Or any world that threatens Earth. We have become death, the destroyer of worlds. But we choose not to be. Leave now. Spread word through the galaxy. Earth wants peace, but we possess the means to end any civilization that attacks us. The silence that followed seemed to encompass the entire solar system. Then, one by one, hegemony ships began to power down their weapons. The reality had penetrated even their alien minds. Humanity had evolved from prey to the apex predator of the galaxy. In the weeks that followed, as hegemony forces retreated and word spread throughout known space, a new order emerged. Species that had never communicated except through conquest began to send diplomatic missions to Earth. The quantum cascade weapon had done more than win a battle. It had ended the age of galactic empires built on force. Admiral Chen stood once, again at the observation deck of Global Defense Command, watching alien shuttles land at the newly constructed diplomatic quarter. Each species brought gifts, trade proposals, and most importantly, treaties of non-aggression. Do you think we went too far? Lieutenant Webb asked, standing beside her. Chen considered the question, watching human and alien children playing together, in the plaza below, a sight impossible before the quantum deterrent. We showed the galaxy that humanity could end everything if pushed far enough, but we chose not to. Sometimes the greatest power lies in restraint. Earth had issued its final warning to the galaxy, not through words but through demonstrating the terrifying potential of human ingenuity when threatened. The message was clear. Approach in peace and find a friend. Come in war and face annihilation. The purple sky slowly healed and the stars shone with new meaning. Humanity took its place not as conquerors of the galaxy, but as its guardians. The warning had been given, the power demonstrated. Now came the harder task, using that power to build a better future for all sentient beings. The age of galactic warfare was over. The age of enforced peace had begun, with Earth as its unlikely architect. And in the depths of space, the quantum cascade satellite maintained its silent vigil, a reminder to all that some species should never be pushed to their limits,